Hey Eric, how's it going? Andrew here. Looks like I have two people in here right now. Get things started up here in just a little bit. I was upstairs. I try to normally start these at about 8:25 to give it some time, but I ran upstairs. They're dealing with some breaking news. I don't know if you guys had seen. One officer was shot and killed at Columbus Police Headquarters, or Columbus Police at their evidence room. So was upstairs talking with them about that. Seeing if there's anything I can do to help. Anyway, I'm here now, and we're going to get some more people up in here. We've got two on here right now. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I want to talk about my weather challenge, the snow challenge, which I know some of you guys have jumped in on, and we will get to that coming up here very shortly. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Again, use the social stream on Ustream, or if you're on Twitter, AndrewWSYX6, or on Facebook, it's facebook.com/AndrewMichaelABC6Fox28. So let me flip this over here, get this back on our other channel. So was shot and killed at All right. What's the snow contest? Eric, so you have not heard about the snow contest? So here's the snow contest. I need to turn the audio down on my computer. So I posted this on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. So my snow contest, you can do it one of two ways. You can message me on Facebook, or you can message me on Twitter. It has to be a message. It can't be a comment of when you think the first inch of snow will be. And I'll go through our guidelines, is what we're calling them. Forecast a date and time. Time's important for a tiebreaker. Of when you think the first inch of snow will be reported. And this is at Port Columbus Airport here in Columbus. Send one Facebook direct message and or one Twitter direct message to me of the forecasted date and time. Again, on Facebook or Twitter. And it must be submitted 72 hours before the first inch is reported, which is important so that way you're not waiting until the last second and someone's not trying to snipe in last second and try to say, oh, it's going to be tomorrow night. And I also encourage people to invite their friends. That was really it. 72 hours before the first inch of snow, and just message me when you think the date and time would be. So yeah. We still have time. The only issue is I think maybe tomorrow night we may see our first inch of snow by tomorrow night. Keeping an eye on it. As far as snowfall totals of what we will see, there's a lot of new information that are coming in. The models are still coming in. So I really don't want to go into that right now because it'll be dated by the time we get to the 10 and 11 o'clock news tonight. So again, if you guys have any questions, easiest ways are probably Ustream and also on Twitter. If you guys are on there, AndrewWSYX6. Or on Ustream. So my brother Daniel asked, how is a twister formed? You need an updraft. The winds kind of rotate as you go up into the atmosphere. So as you're looking at the screen here, as the winds get higher into the atmosphere, they switch directions. So down at the surface, they may be coming from this direction. Further in the atmosphere, they're coming from up here. What happens is that those winds rotate to match that. And when you get updrafts and storms, when they're pulling that air up in the storm, it slowly starts to rotate as it goes into the storm, and as the storm intensifies, that rotation starts to tighten even more, and if the updraft continues to get stronger, that's how you can start getting rotation up in the storms, and that's typically how tornadoes are formed and how a twister would be formed. It's a good question. I don't know if any of you guys have seen. I'll show you guys this real quick. So I ran in the OSU 4-miler today. This is our finishing medal. Pretty cool. It's like a 3D raised version of the shoe. pretty cool. That's the finishing medal for finishing. On the back it says Ohio State 4-miler. But the money went to help for cancer research, so it's pretty cool. I finished a decent time, but just thought I would share that with you guys, show you what that looked like. Also, BCS rankings came out. Ohio State number 3 in the BCS rankings, so that's pretty cool. Just retweeted that from our good buddy Clay Hall upstairs. So again, if you guys have any questions, let me know on the social stream, on Ustream or Twitter. Works out well. Andrew WSYX6. Or if you guys are on my Facebook page, let me know there as well. And I'll probably talk a little bit more about the snowfall challenge in a little bit, in case you guys missed it. So yeah, hopefully you guys had a good weekend. It's pretty nice outside this weekend. A little chilly today. See there. All right. What was the biggest snowfall total amount Columbus has had? All right, Matthew. We will look that up in our ABC6 Fox 28 Weather Department Local Climate Data and Statistics. All right. So let's see what the record are. Record extremes. That would not be it. That would be temperature based. Oh, no. Here it is. Daily record snowfall, and I was here in Columbus when this happened because I was working at Holiday Inn on Lane Avenue, and we got snowed in. We had to spend the night there. Daily record snowfall is 15.5 inches, which, I mean, that's a lot of snow. It's over a foot of snow in just a 24-hour, one-day time period. So that's a lot. And as far as our first, let's see, I'll get you the statistics on this. The average, and this would have been very useful for my snow challenge. The average first snowfall, or we can do the average first occurrence of 1 inch of snow or more. So for the Bucks Challenge, what's the average date? Which I do have several of these. It's December 13th. So that's when we normally average the first inch of snow for Columbus is December 13th. And as far as our snow challenge, we now have 209 entries. Again, that's for Buck's first inch of snow challenge, where when you guys think the first inch of snow will be in. Unfortunately, and a lot of people have asked this, and I'll tell you guys this for the 4 people that are on here right now, or whoever watches this later. There's not a prize this year. Next year, I plan to change that. This year, in order for there to be prizes with the TV station, and again, this is going behind the curtain for you guys that are watching this, in order for there to be a prize for a contest with the TV station, it has to go up through legal, and we have to make sure that the rules are written out and everything else, because when there's a prize given away, it's of monetary value, and we have to actually have rules behind everything. So that's why there's not a prize with this. The way that I kind of spun it and made it more fun was it's a challenge. So that's why I encourage you to invite all of your friends, all of your family, because once this is all said and done, I'm going to do a ranking of 1 through, right now we're at 209 people, of who is the most accurate for when the first inch of snow would be. But again, next year I hope to get the ball rolling, maybe even by September next year. So that way there's a big prize involved, so we'll get a lot more activity on this. But I think it's cool. It's fun so far. I message everyone back that I hear from, so it's nice to be able to actually talk to you guys, open up that line of dialogue. All right, so let's check to see if there are any questions, and it looks like there are some. Saw that on the 6 p.m. news. What are the things you wear during the news? Well, I wear a microphone, which is on my jacket, and then I wear this guy. This is an IFB is what it's called, and this goes in my ear. I normally clip this to the back of my shirt, which the back of my shirts are all ruined because this little clip, I'll flip it around for you here. This little clip goes onto my jacket, and then my earpiece, this goes in my ear, goes in this ear, tucks in my ear, and then I put this back behind it, and then normally, if I put it back there, you can't tell it's there hardly until I turn. So I have to wear that every single newscast, so that way I can hear what the producers say. Like today when I was doing the full weather, you may have noticed when I got to the end of the 7-day forecast, I was kind of speeding up a little bit, and That's because he's in my ear. He's like, Rap, you're taking too much time. You're taking too much time. So, Robin, when are we due for a blizzard? Well, we really haven't had one in a while. But I do think, if you think about it, this fall so far, even late summer into fall, when we have rain, we see a lot of rain. Even Halloween, when those winds kicked through, a lot of people didn't realize how much rain we had seen. We saw 0.9 inches of rain, which is almost an entire inch of rain. Normally in October, we don't see that. In October, we normally see, and I'll tell you exactly again what the average rainfall is. Average rainfall for Columbus for October is 2.6 inches. So we saw over a third of our monthly rainfall with that one system. So what does that tell me? Well, that tells me that when we are seeing this rain kick its way through with these systems for the winter, as long as we see the same pattern where it has a lot of precipitation, there's a lot of moisture with it, we could be in for a pretty snowy winter here in central Ohio. So it's always interesting to see how fall plays out into winter. Normally there's a little bit of correlation, but it changes up just a little bit. So it's a good question, Robin. We have not had a blizzard here in a while, but I do know when we had that record snowfall total back in 2008, it was March, we did have a blizzard warning when that happened because you couldn't see anything. I remember going out and making snow angels. I did that in the middle of Lane Avenue because there was no traffic driving anywhere. Dylan, he just asked how much snow for Zanesville. Dylan, I mentioned earlier when I started this broadcast, I know there's a little bit more people on here now. I'm not going to go into the numbers because right now they're not as accurate as what they were a little bit ago, and they're not going to be nearly as accurate as what they will be by the time we get to the 10 and 11 o'clock news. Because what's happening is the new models are coming in, keeping a very, very, very close eye on it. And as a matter of fact, we're seeing the new models coming in right now. They're slow. They have to render out one image at a time. But I want to go over those numbers again in more detail once we get closer to the broadcast time to see if there are any new, if there's any new information as to whether we're going to tweak those numbers. I will say, generally, it looks like we're going to be about an inch, maybe a little bit more in certain spots. And like I said, coming up in the 10 and 11 o'clock news, we'll really go into what other spots likely we'll be seeing a little bit extra. And I was working on this too. And I'll show this to you guys because I haven't quite finished it yet, but I'm going to flip this around. There we go. So I'm working on this graphic. This will be coming up tonight. So this is going to kind of just break down the next 24 hours. So basically we're dry all the way through this because there's a lot going on. Where we get into this big green background, that's the time frame for rain for tomorrow. Then the pink is when we start switching over from rain, and then eventually snow, and all of this snow is overnight as we head into Tuesday. But just thought I'd show you guys that. Working on that graphic, I'll have that finalized, and it'll look a lot better by the time we get to the 10 and 11 o'clock news. But just thought I'd share that with you, something to kind of really show the change of what we're going to be seeing as far as switching from rain to that wintry mix over to snow. All right, see if we have any other questions now on Facebook or on Twitter. Doesn't look like it. So thanks, Dylan, for asking that question. But again, as far as right now, I'm just going to say generally around an inch, but some places will see more. And I'll have the new forecast map coming up tonight at I'll have that coming up for you guys tonight at 10 and 11. So thanks for asking about that. If there are any other questions right now, what's the worst winter you've seen? That's from Sydney Walters. As far as the worst winter that I've ever seen, I would say the one-day snowfall total, definitely what we had seen back in 2008 because we saw, 15 inches in one day. So that's the worst I've ever seen in one day, and that was a blizzard warning for sure that day. But there's been some other times where it was the coldest I've ever seen. That was back in the winter of 2008 and 2009, where we got down to I think maybe 12 below zero. And if you take hot water when it's that cold, if you take hot water outside and throw it into the air, it actually vaporizes instantly and turns into a cloud. It doesn't allow it to get back to the surface at all. It evaporates immediately. All right, let's see what else we have going on here. See if there are any new questions. Looks like there might be one on Facebook. So again, if you guys have any questions, let me know on the Ustream. There's a social stream there on the right-hand side. Or if you If you guys are on Twitter, it's Andrew WSYX6, and I will get to your guys' questions. So let me know what you guys have going on. If you have any questions, scroll back up here. Oh, so everyone who jumped on here, I know I had one question earlier. What's the weather challenge? So the weather challenge is something that I came up with, the snow challenge. So the first inch of snow challenge, and I'll show you guys the image for it real quick. So the first inch of snow challenge, the rules are pretty explanatory. Predicting the first inch of snow, forecast date and time. Time's very important. When you think that'll be here at Port Columbus, send one Facebook direct message and or Twitter direct message. It has to be submitted 72 hours. Now, this is the interesting thing. 72 hours before the first inch of snow is reporting, so you're not waiting till the last second. But if you still want to be entered, because I'll tell you what, for all of you guys that are watching this, there's a lot of people that are forecasting, obviously, in the next couple of days. But if you're forecasting for something less than 72 hours, you're going to get thrown out because it doesn't apply to that rule. So basically, if you submit something that's maybe 75 hours out from right now, you'll still be in there and you'll sneak in ahead of everybody for December. But just a little bit of a tip for everyone that's watching this right now. So yeah, and the big thing is I wish that there was a prize for it this year. Unfortunately, there's not, because if there was a prize, it'd have to go through legal with the station. They have to write up the rules. But I'm hoping next year I'm going to get the ball rolling a little bit earlier. Hopefully by September, I'll have everything finalized. So once we start it up next year, we'll do it again and hopefully get a decent prize out of it. But the big thing is just encourage your friends, because I'm going to release the rankings to see who is the most accurate. So if they join in too, you guys can kind of see who had the best forecast. All right, so back to the page, see if there are any of the questions. Are we going to have a harsh winter? Well, I kind of just explained that, Eric. I think that we will see some heavier snowfalls with each of the independent storms. And as far as comparing it to other years, there's not really anything that makes it stick out more than anything else. All right, see what else is going on here tonight. All right, what is going on? Eric said, are we going to have a harsh snow weather this year? So I think we will. I think we will definitely have some systems that will dump down a lot of snow and very quickly. And taking a look at what we have going on, latest forecast model still predicting that snow in here by sunset, or at least the rain starting before sunset tomorrow. So the time frame, I think, for you guys, I think the snow will start later in the evening. What it's going to start off as initially will be rain right around the evening commute time, and then it'll switch over to the snow once the sun sets. Temperatures are going to drop real fast tomorrow night, and that's when we will start to see that wintry mix push its way in. All right, so let's see what else is going on here. If you guys have any questions, let me know on Facebook and or Twitter. You guys can let me know on Twitter. It's Andrew WSYX6. And on Facebook, it is facebook.com/Andrew Michael ABC6 Fox28. So again, if you guys have any questions, let me know on there or on Ustream. Just hit me up. Let me know whatever you guys have on your mind tonight. And we're going to have this go till about 9 o'clock tonight. So about another 10 minutes. If you guys have any other questions, let me know. I have to build some graphics and get some stuff ready for the newscast tonight. And Bill Kelly will be back in for the 11 o'clock news tonight. Ooh, I just gave you some information. How cold does it have to be for? So Kirsten, one of the producers, one of the production assistants, you guys saw it last week when we were installing the new light bulb. She asked, how cold does it have to be for you to take hot water outside, throw it into the air, and evaporate? Effectiveness, you could probably do it when it got down to maybe like 5 degrees or so. But when it gets colder than that, like below zero, and especially when it gets like 5 below or 10 below zero, it just completely turns into a cloud. It is cool. But you don't normally see it unless it gets super, super cold. All right. I love these questions. So, Dylan, Dillon77 on Twitter asked, he asked first how much snow are they going to see Monday night and Tuesday. And so I told you guys generally around an inch, maybe a little bit more in spots. And he said, thanks. Will it make schools close? And my answer to that is, that's a question for your school district. Can't predict when schools close or delay. Or can't predict that. That's the weird thing. I mean, some schools, half an inch of snow may shut them down. Other schools, they go if there's 5 inches of snow. It really just depends, especially in the outlying rural areas where they're commuting a lot of students in the hilly areas. That's where it really will play a big part into whether you're going to be seeing schools close or not. All right, so let's see if there are any other questions. How often do you fine-tune your forecast? This is a question from Alex May. It's a great question, Alex. On nights like tonight, we actually fine-tune it probably every hour or 2 hours, just because we're looking at the new models coming in, if there's some big changes. And especially with winter systems, the fact that 1 inch of snow is actually equal to 0.1 inches of rain. So what may be just a quick sprinkle outside may be a coating of snow or even a half an inch of snow. So with these systems, we really take a look at those numbers, because the difference of 0.5 inches, which is only a half an inch of rain, is a difference of about 5, and with this system coming in, maybe 5 to 7 inches of snow. We're not going to see 5 to 7 inches of snow, but that's what the difference is with these winter systems. A little bit of a change in how much liquid precipitation we would see is what we would see as far as tenfold on the winter, the snow system. So it really is hard to tell. It's really hard to tell you one set forecast and then stick with it all day long, because a little change as far as the track of the system or not can really affect how much snow we will be seeing. Go back over to Facebook, check that out, see if there's any new questions on there, if there are any new questions. Let's see, Mindy Parker posted, will we be warm enough in the next few weeks to actually have an Indian summer? We didn't really have one, did we? Or we didn't really have one, did we? I remember a few years when it was really warm for Thanksgiving. As far as with the forecast models, and I will take a look at the latest one right now to see what the temperatures are looking like that far out. It looks like we might get warm in a couple of weeks. But let me pull this up here. Extend this to 16 days out. And let's do 2 meter temperature, max temp 5 degrees. Alright, so we're going to look here real quick, and I will show this to you guys while I am looking at it myself. So as far as the forecast models going through time, let's see here, looking like up to about maybe 50 for the high, and this is next Friday. So I'm getting up to about 55 for the high there. This will be next Saturday. Sunday looking like we're getting up to about 60, so not there quite yet. Ooh. There's 70 degree mark right down there. Looks like we may try to get to 65 next Monday according to this model. Then it gets much colder. And as far as the foreseeable future, no Indian summer for the immediate future. But again, we'll keep an eye on things. But right now, no Indian summer. And the definition for Indian summer is where you have a hard freeze, which we've had that. We've had the killing freeze. All of the plants outside my house are dead other than the flowers that are sitting right next to the bricks, which probably help them keep them warmer. But we need to get to 70 degrees with clear skies, plenty of sunshine in order for it to be an Indian summer. All right, so let's see here. Let's see if there are any other questions on here on Facebook or Twitter. Not seeing any right now. If you guys have any other questions, get on there. Let me know real quick, because otherwise we're going to have to get some graphics made. So we'll end this at about 9 o'clock tonight. We'll do a half-an-hour version. And that normally works out pretty well, because if we do a half-an-hour version, we can get those questions. As far as a meteorologist, how far out do you really trust on extending forecasting? Extended forecasting. Normally 7 days out, we have a very good handle of what will happen, the general idea, whether it's going to rain or not rain. Temperature-wise, there's normally a little fluctuation once you get 7 days out, but especially once you get past that, especially past 10 days out, your forecast starts to vary a lot more. The models tend to go warmer, but then it actually is not going to be quite that much. So as far as accuracy, 7 days out, you can do a pretty good job, a pretty accurate forecast of an idea. If you're watching the 70 forecast, and right now we have a 30% chance of rain on Monday, you get a good idea that maybe if you have some outdoor plans next week, or if you have maybe a run or something else that you have planned, maybe a 5K, you're going to want to keep an eye on the forecast, because there's rain likely. The timing of it won't be nailed down yet, but we'll keep an eye on it. Same thing with the snow that we're about ready to see for tomorrow night. It initially looked like it was going to be Tuesday night into Wednesday, but every time the forecast models came out, it slowly pushed it forward about 3 hours each time we got a forecast model. So once it gets closer, we start realizing, wait, well, this is starting to move further in advance, so it looks like it's going to be coming through Monday in the evening and into Tuesday morning, very early Tuesday morning. So as far as the accuracy, it really just kind of bumps up once you get closer to the actual day. What is an Indian summer? Just answer that for you, Eric. What are the chances for a white Christmas from Robin? It's looking pretty good. We've actually had an early snowfall this year already for us, Robin. Looks like we're going to have potentially our first inch of snow tomorrow night. Again, I wouldn't set that in stone. We have to wait for it to verify, but it looks like we generally will see close to an inch for most of the area tomorrow. And considering that we're already seeing enough snow this early in the season, this early in November, and even late October, I think the chances for us to have a white Christmas are a little better than normal. And normally here in Ohio, I believe, I don't have statistics in front of me, but I believe the average is about a third of the time, so about 33% of the time. I think that this year we have a little better chance to see those. All right. If there are any other questions on here, Eric, he is asking, so Eric asked, where is the snow coming from? And I will show you guys right now where the snow is coming from, our system, because really, there's not a lot going on. And I'll show you guys the big map. So here's what's going on. We've got this high-pressure system, which is giving us the clear skies right now. The system what's coming for us is this right here. It's a cold front. Not a lot of moisture with it right now. There's not very much snow. As a matter of fact, I will show you what the radar looks like across the country. Pretty quiet. There's a little bit of snow up there in Montana, but that's the system that's going to be kicking right down towards us. What you're seeing all of here, this is just the radar picking up a lot of debris in the atmosphere that's not actually any rain or anything, but this is snow up here in Montana, and that's what's coming for us. So that's what's on the way for, again, tomorrow night. We'll see the rain around commute time tomorrow, switching to snow by late tomorrow evening. Let's see what else we have going on here. I'll refresh Facebook to see if there are any new questions. If not, we'll probably end this, like I said, it's 9 o'clock now. So, again, thanks for everyone jumping on here. I will save this. Last week when I posted it, it asked you if you want to upload it to Ustream, and I didn't hit yes, so it actually got lost in cyberspace, and it didn't actually get posted. But I will be posting this up on Ustream, so you guys can go back and check this out if you guys want to at a later time. But check to see if there are any other questions right now. Don't see any other new questions. So, again, thanks for everyone jumping on here tonight. And hopefully we'll see you guys at 10 and 11. I'll have the updated snow forecast totals for you. So, again, check out the Fox 28 News at 10 And then at 11, we are the only newscast on at 11 o'clock because all the other newscasts will be running late due to football. So, again, check out ABC 6 News at 11 o'clock tonight. And thanks for everyone jumping on here and asking the questions.